everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Zenji, and today we're going to be playing Timberborn. Currently, we're in episode 42 in our Oasis project playthrough. And hey, hope you're doing well. Thank you again for joining in. Currently, we're in cycle 56, day 15, and we're busy with our coffee plantation plot over here, and then a overflow system in case we ever do flood this area over here. And yeah, then of course we'll be blocking off this zone over here and over here, just so that we can store, I don't know, excess water here and perhaps make this whole belt nice and green. Otherwise, we're looking around. Some other uncompleted projects is the coffee brewery, which one has been built and the second one is on its way. We have a few little extras over here that haven't been built yet, so we'll just upgrade those. And I think from here on out, we're probably going to be finishing up our playthrough in the next few episodes. As you can see, we've done most of everything we needed to do. We do have this second dam, but I'm not sure if we actually need it, so it could just be an afterthought. But food-wise, we've pretty much done all the fermenters. I guess we could do fermented mushrooms, kvassas and soybeans to really diversify our food. So perhaps that's something we could try over here. So that does require fermenters. How should we do this? Well, we need to connect, yeah, so we can connect two there, connect a road. Of course, we're going to upscale, I prioritize that. We'll go one with kvassas, one with soybeans. I think we have one more over here. Those are mushrooms, so that is all three in use. Okay, so that is that sorted. Other food options, pretty much all set. And regarding wood, pretty much all good there. Housing, we haven't unlocked the row house. I guess we could just do that. Why not? Yeah, I'll just build two there. Why not? We are going to turn on our ink machine, number cruncher. And then we can play with the suspension bridges and overhangs. For this type of map, we don't really need it because everything is very open and flat. As you can see, it's quite a lot going on. The next step is, of course, clearing out the zone, and this is where we're going to be doing our final foray for our Earth repopulator. It's in reverse. Let's do it like that. Alright, and then of course we'll set these to high and high. And we'll cut some trees. Alright, so when all that's done, we will see take our final monument, which only takes 20,000. 20,000 science, 1,500 gears, 2,000 treated planks, 169, and 2,000 metal. So it's going to take a while, but we can push those numbers up. Increase the wood. We'll just put all these on. So that is our goal, and obviously we want to get these bot factories up and running too. So maybe put these on high. Technically we can or should be able to make at least one bot by the end of this playthrough. We'll change from bot heads here to bot limbs because you need more limbs. But still quite a few beaver roles yet to be fulfilled, which means we'll need more breeding pods. So we might have to cancel a whole bunch of dynamite, which is fine by me. I think this was wishful thinking. Okay, that's all done there. Still a few things we haven't finished up this side. Of course, we do want to connect power. We have this over here, which we haven't actually utilized. So that's going to be our power draw. And then we're going to possibly drag it right across. Let's see. Right, so you know how this goes. A whole bunch of power shafts all the way. They're going to be doing a downward power shaft and then a upwards power shaft. Yeah, we can pretty much ignore all these dynamites. Not really worried about that. Alright, some more straight power shafts. And then we'll do some platforms. I think these are too high, yes. Where would be a good spot here? Let's see. Where is the power inlet outlet? There we go. Okay, that's all been sorted there. Okay, so technically this is possible. Even connecting those. These ones might be an issue. And those ones too. We'll see. We might have to do a little bit of a shenanigan to get across here. Although technically, I think we can connect. We'll do it this way. There is a downward path over there, so it is possible. Alright, and that will obviously allow us to dig for dirt. Then we can actually blow this now. So the water can pool there, and then of course we can now have our coffee farm. Of course there's no water, so we'll put this guy on. And then we just need to take a look, see if we have any bots yet. It's still short quite a bit. With regards to power. So I think we'll need to do a giant amount of advanced breeding pods. So we'll go with 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this should allow us to reach our production goals. Food wise, we're looking quite good. Wood is not great, so we're gonna have to increase our wood production somehow. Where's the best green belt? And of course we might lose some of these. That's fine. Food is through the roof, So not really too concerned. And then we'll switch the number cruncher off. Try to save some power. Alrighty. So we are getting there. These guys are now finished with their jobs, so we'll pause them. Now, we connect some roads, finally. Block that all off. Connect this over here. And this is some more metal, which we're definitely going to need in order to finish our build. We are going to do some storage here then for that. This is going to be for the metal, which should be here. Gears, fine. Nope, it does not belong. Okay, so I'll build a whole bunch of these. And then a platform up. Alright, and then just set these to that. Okay. So technically this will always be clear water now. Which is quite favorable. And we are adapting over here. Looks like we have run out of bad water. Well, we can always rebuild these over here, I think. Perhaps we shall do that. How would this work? Well, that one works there. Alright, we've got two. Technically, we could shift it, but they already started building, so it's too late. Alright, and these will be ever running, which will be good for production, and of course then we can just take these guys off. And actually, we can delete them. Grab the resources. But luckily for us, there's only 3.3 days left in the drought, so we are going to lose a bit of crops. Actually, no, we're not. The roles have been fulfilled. So our backup plan here for extra metal underway. That's going to be for our Earth repopulator, which will signal the end of the playthrough, I believe. Okay, I think we might have to add some roads here just so that we can access all of this. Because I don't think they can reach there. Well, they say they can. let's just demolish some of these. No, that's not the right one. There we go. So that'd be great if they can get on that underway. Of course, we have just way too many jobs for beavers. So we have to fix that first before we can actually attempt, I guess, to fulfill these roles. Just way too many. So clearly it's an extract issue. We got the berries. We need extract. Oh. Looks like we're assembling one robot. Okay, it does take quite a while to make one. We can pause the canola oil we're sitting at. We can pause one of these. Oh, the second bot factory is now up and running. Or bot assembler. Awesome. So with these bots, we're going to be fulfilling roles, and of course with these 4 extra breeding pods, we're going to be pretty much we're going to have too many workers, which is fine by me. Oh, they're taking shape. Only 40%, so we'll check in on them in a little bit. But this is coming up nicely. Awesome. Now we're definitely going to need these to be built quicker. I'm sure they'll get on that momentarily. And then we have quite a few sick beavers. Not sure why though. It shouldn't be going down there. Perhaps over here somewhere, I'm not sure. But good news, we do have access over here, so can take that. And good news, that is now done. So technically we could destroy this. But it will let in bad water. So we'll leave it for now until we block this section off. But hey, there we go. The drought has ended. And water shall flow once more. Just wait for it to fill up. There we go. I never get used to seeing that. It's great. Cool, so that should flood everywhere. We can turn these guys off. Okay, we'll lower this gate. We'll lower this one. Okay, close that. And we'll close this. Cool, and now we can plant more coffee bushes. Well, actually, we just have to unpause these. And they will fill that role. Possibly we should do some more water storage just to not ever have to worry about it again. Yeah, we can just do a whole bunch of medium tanks. Why not? These can all be set to water. It's of course easier to build the medium tanks. And then we can always switch them in and out. But I think we might have our first bot somewhere. Where are you, Mr. Robot? That's quite a cool sight. So do I have to now select the building? Where was the place for bots? What? You have to pay science? Oh my goodness. Okay, well let's start replacing. Okay, good news, you only have to do it once for that specific workplace. It's a little cheesy, but okay. And it's got the light on, which means iron bots. I guess it's a forever running machine then. So we will replace all our smelters with workers. Well, I guess that will do that. Will be bot number 2. Does free up 2 workers, so good news for us. And I think we'll do the treated planks next. Now the bot assemblers assembling bots. That is interesting. Perhaps we do that. 10,000. Okay, that was a bad move. But we'll do this. We'll put this back on Beavers. So the iron bots can run the bot assemblers. So these will never end. Should be good for us. Alright, otherwise things are looking pretty good. Lots and lots of water storage. Coffee plantation is not up and running yet, but we've just used quite a lot of science. And that's quite interesting, that old tactic, they make you use your science. So we're just going to keep mining that. Okay, power is the problem. So we have to figure out where we're going to place, more trees. There's an option over here. And it's not bad. We could fit maybe 30-ish trees in there. Take that. And of course all we have to do is do a bit of landscaping. And we'll plant some more trees. What trees are best? So that is one little tree farm over there. Now I gotta find another little spot. How is this? Technically we can destroy all these. Try to take advantage of this area. Not connected via road. And then, yeah, let's extend that. Play on that. Plant all the good stuff. All the oaks. And unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to, I guess, mine that down. I still only have 2 bots. Other ones are on their way. So this control tower sends a signal to nearby bots to boost their performance. So we should be getting a signal boost. We still have a power capacity issue, and that's due to this not being finished. And not having enough wood. So we are trying to correct that. Technically we have this section here that we can still plant some oak trees. So push plan 2. Alright, so the bad tide is here. Why is it doing that? Close above contamination. This doesn't make sense. That is not supposed to happen. Crap. Well, I'll probably have to go one higher then. Okay, the flow is so strong that it just doesn't want to go off the map. Oh, that's unfortunate. Luckily it's not going to affect any of this area. Alright, we have one bot that is not available. So when this is done, we'll replace these guys. And then the bots will make the bots. Sounds quite dystopian, if you ask me. And probably a good idea to actually do the bot process. So have a bot for each part of the assembly, the growing of the crops, to the canola oil, to the extract. That way it's a consistent supply, and then we'll never have a problem again. Of course, we also want to free up some beavers. So how shall we do this? I think extract is possibly the most important, so we'll do this. And we'll put 2 iron bots in there. And we'll unlock this for science, put an iron bot in there. And then when we have another one available, we'll put well, things are going well. yeah, it's another 22-day drought, and of course we're gonna have to do this. I wonder if I delete that, if it's gonna be a problem. I think it's gonna delete each section. Yeah, we gotta be very careful not to select the sluice. So just like that. Nope. Yes. I really don't want to. Okay, it does work. It's a little nerve-wracking. Alright, we're just gonna have to build. Well, technically we don't have to build sluices, we have to just build levees. Which are cheaper than dams. Alright, and then we'll build a pathway. Plan. Of course, set this to mega high. Alrighty. So we need to take a look at what we can swap out. Seems like we have too much of something. There's a lot of oak trees there. Possibly swap out a whole bunch of egg plants. Alright. So all we need next is to get a second bad water pumper. So bot to fill their role, which they can now. Pretty much we want to utilize these advanced breeding pods and hopefully create a mass amount of workers. But alright guys, we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you again for joining in. I really do appreciate it. Of course, we've just got our bots up and running, and then the next step is, of course, creating more workers so that we can clear out areas and finish up all of our projects. But hey, hope you all enjoyed. And of course, as always, if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Cheers.